Well, the 2018 bean harvest is rolling on. Yields are hanging right in there pretty good. But right over there's a band. It's blue skies. So there's a chance of rain tomorrow. I'm filming this on Wednesday. So chance of rain tomorrow, and I think, well, I know I'll get this farm done, but I think I'm going to be rained out to get the beans done tomorrow. So I got about 85 acres after this farm, but they're 7.5 miles away. So if that does not materialize or doesn't amount to much, I'll be moved over on it tomorrow. But if it does materialize into something and shuts me down for a day or so, obviously it'll be, once it dries up, we'll finish the beans up. So everything's moving right along good pace, and boy, it's hard to do a three-point turn here on a bank with one hand. Anyway, yeah, everything's going good. Yields are hanging in there well, and we've been running several fields in the mid-60s, so not too bad for overall yield average. The wheat is in. It would not hurt my feelings actually to have 20-30 hundredths rain on that, and just kind of get everything into the, everything in the ground soaked up nice, get the wheat to sprout, because that's all you really want to do is sprout. And then you just sit back and watch it grow. Next spring we'll go out, we'll put some nitrogen on it, we'll check it for rust and everything else next summer. So it's a new learning experience for me, but I'm excited to see it. The only thing bad about it so far, I kind of had a cost of production number in my mind, and my dreams and goals are starting to down the toilet, so to speak, just because we had such wet weather this fall that I ended up having to do some additional tillage on it. It took it's a little harder to smooth it up than I was hoping. Maybe if I'd had some vertical tillage tools or something like that, it would have worked better. That corn stover was so heavy, it was so wet. We had 8 inches of rain, and we ended up, going out, and I had showed you guys I chisel plowed it. I was wanting to do bale some stover on it, but just a couple of things like that have hit me. It would, so they're going to take some cost out of it, but I'll figure it in. But I won't let it discourage me either. But moving right along here today, the beans are real crispy. When the stalks are crispy, they cut nice and clean. And I got this damn thing on again. I'll show you guys in a minute what's going on back there. I got new air filter on its way over, as well as some more DEF fluid, and probably gonna just go ahead and fuel up while I'm there, put the filters in. What a joke. Stupid damn DEF. My nozzle went bad on my Thunder Creek trailer. I'm having to resort to these things. I told Kelly to go pick a bunch up. And as you can see, there's been some spilt here. And that is a bad nozzle. I'm waiting on that to come in. So in the meantime, I'm using jugs. Over here, I'm filling up the fuel though. Over here, and this mess was because of the this tank being bad, which I already showed that. That's $400 and some odd. And now I'm going through air filters, and I finally figured out that these plastic here has shrank or something, and these holes are not slotted, but that's their mounting bracket. But I'm gonna have to find a way to maybe elevate that a little bit, because there's just not enough engagement, and it's leaving little pinholes in the edge of the plastic where they got the slots cut so it goes together. It's letting dirt pull in there. So yippee, good job, International. 1 inch more engagement, problem would have been solved. Well, dirty air filter is nothing to mess around with. I keep it blown out until I finally found out where the problem was. But after a couple times you blow it out, it's pretty much done for, because that stuff just starts getting down in there, and you can even feel the heaviness to the filter. So that was why it's time to replace it. Now back to combine. Yeah, this cab stinks in here. I'll bust open our air pressure a little more. The reason it smells is because there was a place about 50 feet wide and 60 feet long where were no herbicide dose that got put down. It was heavy foxtail. And when I went through there, sure enough, here comes Mr. Skunky, sprays everything he has right at the combine as he's going into the header and being killed, which further crushed his scent gland, and I think sprayed the living shit out of everything. Now, there's no way in hell I could have seen him because this was pure foxtail. So just creeping along, whoop, oh my god, here comes the spray. So, yay. So now I'm getting a pine fresh forest in here. And that right there is beautiful. Thank God it didn't get sprayed. Okay, to wrap this video up, I'm actually going to give the history of our combines. And thank you, Fieldman, for asking that question in the comments. You gave me a great idea for a video. And I think you've given me a couple others too, so I appreciate that. And if you got some others you want to see or good ideas, farming related, let me know. Comment below and I'll do a video on them. So, bean cutting here is good, so I figured I'd have time to share some history of our machines with you. Prior to owning the first combine, we'd always just had it custom hired, and that got to be more and more difficult as the acres increased and the amount of guys doing custom decreased, and then it got expensive too. Turn on my distance lights there. So for our number one combine, which you will not find on any film, I probably have some pictures somewhere at home in a scrapbook, but you will not find it on YouTube. It was our first combine was a I think it was an 89 or possibly it was a 90. I know they were, you know, depending on which month it rolled off the assembly line, I guess. But it was a John Deere 9500. Had 24.5, 32 tires. It was a 2-wheel drive, and we ran it with a 643 corn head and a 918 bean head. And the header was an older high-10 head, second hand head. And it was nothing special, and the bean head was pretty new. We bought it brand new, but it was pretty new technology at that time, and it worked pretty well. But the reason we were able to buy it a little cheaper is it's 18 foot, which actually equates out to 6 row wide. Even though we were running drilled soybeans with it, so we were not super picky on our width. And we ran that combine up to about 5,000 hours, at which point it was just totally shot. And we took it down to John Deere. The original 9500s had wooden blocks on the straw walkers, and they were actually wore through. So we took it down to John Deere, and they were going to replace them with the new aluminum blocks and put the cams in there. And it had broken down mid-season. I remember I think we just pushed it too far. And I'm trying to remember all the details because obviously I was in school, you know, and so everybody was taking care of all this while I was going to school during the day. But I remember we were down there and we wanted to get the crop done. It was getting late, and I told Dad, why don't we just rent another combine? They had a 1997 9500 on the lot, and it was a really nicely equipped machine. It had the bigger tires, 30.5, 32s in the front, had rear wheel assist in the rear. Quite decked out combine. And Dad said, okay, we'll rent it while you're working on ours. So they gave us a really good rental deal because, you know, we've been a good customer. So we took it home, and we could not believe it was 97 was the last year of the 9500s. And again, you will not find this one on film. I'll have some pictures probably in my at-home scrapbook. But anyway, we ran on our 643 corn head, and then that 97 machine. It was last year, 98s, when they went to the 10 series, but holy ass was it improved. It was day and night difference, and horsepower, and just performance, and everything else. And it was the later model with the aluminum block straw walkers in the back. And it was much lower hours. Anyway, we never actually took our machine back. We traded for that 97. They actually never ever sold that first one of ours. They rented it to a couple guys and got some more use out of another season by rentals, and then they ended up scrapping the machine. That first combine was nothing special. It didn't even have an air ride seat in it. It was just the fixed position seat. As we grew, we went to 8-row head, 843 corn head, and that was a Bish head. It had 90 series poly on it, and it was actually two 443s hooked together. And then, well, if you ever see a Bish head, you'd never know the difference between it and a standard 843. It was two 443s, but you couldn't tell it. Had John Deere poly on it, and we went to a 925 flex draper, and or flex head, I mean, flex platform, and excuse me there, and the 9500, it was a bit much for it, and there were some things about the John Deere combine that we didn't like, and we had a neighbor that had a 2366. We just found the International to be a better performing machine, so we were going to go out. We were trying to buy a 2380 at an auction. We just couldn't get the deal done. We found a sweetheart deal on a 2188, and so we bought it. So that was a bigger machine than the 9500. It was probably a better machine than the 9500. Maybe it didn't have the long life stuff to it versus the John Deere, but it was seemed to outperform it. But anyway, so that's when we went to the internationals. We went to the 2188 at that time period. And you will see videos on it if you look back in my archives. We ran it quite a few years and wore it on out. That combine potentially might still be running with the guys that bought it. I don't know. If it is, it's got to be 5,500 hours or 6,000 hours by now at least. Maybe closer to 7,000. And that's, like I say, that's if it's even running anymore. But anyway, we ran that 2188 on a 1083 corn head and a 10, 20, 25 foot table for quite a few years. And as we grew, we wanted something bigger and more powerful yet. And that's when we went to the John Deere 9860. And if you dig through the archives of videos, you'll see that we had the 9860 and it was running with a 35 foot flex platform. And we ran it for a few years, and farming was really good. The egg prices are good, and I told Dad, I said, hey, we need to spend about 15 grand on that thing. Let's just sell it, jump up to a brand new machine. Commodities will never die, right? Yeah, right. And so we placed an order on a new S670, got it. It was the first year of the new S600s, 2012, and we bought it with a brand new 30-foot flex head, just an auger head. Should have never freaking ever bought a god dang 30 footer. Should have stayed 35. I figured, class 7's great. It's gonna be good size for us. Supposed to have the power that 9860 does. That was the biggest piece of crap combine I've ever seen in my life. That S670 was a joke. It was extremely loud in the cab, and the steering, you couldn't turn it. You'd go to steer it like this, and the steering wheel just lock up because it had rear wheel assist and everything on the big tires. So we complained to our dealer, and they said, oh, okay, they put their John Deere D-Tech. There's a kit, there's bigger steering cylinders for that rear assist. And I said, well, bigger cylinders, that takes more cc's of oil. Nah, no problem, no problem. So they put these cylinders on, and you go 13 turns to go lock to lock. So I put a spinner on to finish out the season. And when we originally had looked at this idea of bumping up to this new S series, we were going to buy a 680, but we said, we don't need it. The 670s will be just as big as a 9860. Wrong. And also, John Deere had focused all their channels of effort towards the bigger model combines, meaning the 680, 690. The 670 was a fill-in machine piece of crap, same as the 660. So we were extremely unhappy with this thing, underpowered junk. The 30-foot head was a total failure too. Actually, I didn't even run it. I just parked it and used our old 35. We were going to sell it privately. It didn't sell that. Actually, sold late that fall, right after the bean harvest. But I went ahead and ran the 35 on the used 35-foot head, which had a lot of wear on it. But went ahead and used it on the 670 and we sold it. Anyway, the 670 we're extremely unimpressed with, so we complained, and the dealer account wanted us to, buy something there. Well, basically, you have the right to return to merchant anything, and that's one thing I'm not getting through Case's head right now on this dozer, but it's a different story. The right you have to return to merchant. If you're unhappy, I bought a wireless router, it didn't work. Took it back to Walmart, no questions asked, boom, money back. And I don't see why you don't have the right with a car or whatever. I mean, there can be a reasonable amount of time, or a maybe it's a setup issue they're going to want to try to help you with, but you have the right to return to merchant. And we said, hey, we don't want this goddamn combine. It's a piece of crap. It's not working. What are we going to do here? And the dealer, they took the machine back, and we ordered a new 680 S680 for the next season. So that's why you'll see a video on YouTube. If you look back, we went 2188, 9860, and then we had the S670 for one season, and then we were in the S680. And the 680 was a better machine. It was not that bad of a combine. My complaints of the 680, I never really got the clean grain samples that you can get out of the International. It just seemed like it didn't have the sieve area. But it was not a bad machine. So we ran it, and that's about the time agricultural started. And also, I should say, we bought that 680 with a 35-foot John Deere flex draper. That flex draper was a piece of crap. Junk. Hated it. And I think they've made some improvements since. That first one sucked. Anyway, we figured commodities were starting to head back down. We didn't want to be around payments of a new 680. And I went over and rode in the neighbor's new flagship International. I said, holy crap. I said, this is a lot better combine than John Deere. Even these S600s are. So that's when we hated that John Deere flex draper. We went and got the MacDon, sold the S680, paid the loan off, and adios goodbye. And we went and actually just bought an International that was used. It would have been the 8120 that we had, and you'll see videos of it. And then we ran it up until the point where we got rid of it here, and then got this 8240, which is what we're running right now. So that's the history of our combines. Now you might say, well, how did you run two new combines and you get out of it? Well, actually the whole thing ended up costing us like $18,000. I mean, out of 2 years with two brand new machines, that's $9,000 a season. Name anybody that can run a couple thousand acres through, new machines and spend $9,000 a season. I mean, depreciation or anything. This machine right here that we're running right now, just the feeder house chain. We replaced it this year, but now the unload auger is going to get wore out. So you're probably talking $3,000 to $4,000, and you'll spend at least $6,000 to $7,000 a season just on repair parts. You combine that with depreciation as well. We're able to 100% write everything off taxes. Never will touch a deal like that again the rest of our life, and that's only because we're able to return to merchant. You know what? One only farmer did that on his no rower. He was pissed, and he returned to merchant, and they took it back. So if anybody ever has a problem with the combine or something, remember that you have the right to take things back. Anyway, that's the history of our machines. Look back in the archives of the videos, you'll see all of them except those 9500s. And if I could go back in time and you had a magic wand and you could do it all over again, I probably would have went from a brand new maybe a 1688 at that time period, jumped into like a 25 or 2388 depending on when you went on the trade, and then went into the flagship series cases. That's probably just how I would have played it over the years if I could have had the magic wand. Or possibly would have bought a 9870 or the 9860 until it wasn't refined yet. Anyway, the 70s were a great machine, and maybe had a 9870 and bought a brand new and still be running it. They're good. They're a damn good combine. So anyway, that's my 2 cents, and that's our history. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.